Before we start, I know that all of you came to this thinking, what can I do during the event so I can multitask, right? Here's what I want you to do, because I know you're multitaskers. I want you to go to Today's Meat, one of my favorite new websites, Today's Meat, not like sandwiches. Oops. .com/, this is called back channeling. Have you heard of this? The point is that what we do in class is only part of what's going on. Okay, so today's meet.com/YC faculty showcase with just the letters there. So go to that. Here's what you're going to see. This is an opportunity it's great for communication classes or whatever. You can enter a message with your smartphone as the speaker is talking. So lately I've been having my students just tell me, you know, we pull this up every day and they enter something like, right? And I kind of get some feedback about, man, was this good? Was this bad? At the end of the day, I can pull this up. You make this really quick website with back channeling, and you can pull it up and say, man, nobody liked that activity. Nobody. Or some people thought this activity was really good. Some people have already been logged in. I don't know who. Yeah, all sorts of people. But I want you to, throughout today, be on task and put some comments in here, okay? Whomever is presenting, do some comments for me, for Jenny, for Jared, Tolos, everybody. That's interesting. And then here's another thing I want you to do. If you have who has a smartphone? Smart, pretty smart? If it's app enabled, here's what I want you to do. I think you're out, I don't know. Go to your store. If it's Android, you got Google Store. If it's iPhone, you got the, iStore or whatever. iPhone, you're going to get Q Rafter. This is what we're going to do at the very end. I've done this presentation now. This will be my third time, and I'm not putting it off again. This is my favorite part, and we've never done it. So we're going to do it today, and we're going to get to it at the expense of whatever else. Android is going to go to, what is it?
Is it a QR code thing?
Yeah. If you already have a good QR code reader, you don't need it. But QRafter is a good one for iPhone or iPad, and then Android is QR Droid, I like.
So these are downloadable apps?
Apps you download that read QR codes. Have you seen these? Yep. They're on your bananas. They're on your shoes. They're on Home Depot catalog. These. Yeah, so it's going to read those. So do it as I'm talking. Let's be honest. You wanted to multitask anyway. Let's go here. I just want to tell you some of the ways that cell phones can be used in the class. And I brought it up in the Winter Institute that here we have students that have more computing power in their breast pocket than we use to get to the moon. Why don't we use it? Especially when you can't get into that computer classroom, because Mary Verbout has it, let's be honest, right? English always gets them. So if you can't get into that classroom, you can use cell phones. All sorts of uses for cell phones. I work with students, well, young kids at church, and I asked them, when was the last time you sent your friend an email? None of them, 17-year-olds, had ever sent an email to a friend. To professors, yes. To teachers, yes. None of them had ever sent an email to their friend. I'm like, well, how do you communicate? They're like, Facebook sometimes, but mostly it's just text, right? Our students increasingly are going to be using text. Right, so how can we reach them? One good way is Remind 101. This is something I've used in the past, especially for online, creates that social presence in an online class. But you want to get them connected to the content and the interface and the other students. So what you do is they send you a text message, and by sending that text message, they're signed up. You don't know their phone number, so it's totally private. Then you log in, and it's basically like sending an email. Say, hey, remember there's a quiz tomorrow. Sends a mass text to everyone in your queue, right? So it's really, really super easy to use, and there's a lot of services that do this, but Remind 101 is by far the simplest. You have Gtext, Selly, GroupMe, and Pulse. All of them do this. Has anyone worked with any of these before? Sending out mass text messages to your students? They get it immediately. See, go ahead.
Is there a problem with sending these out if students haven't given you permission to do it because it costs them money?
They don't have to sign up in my class.
Okay.
I'm like, you can get an email, but it will cost them if they don't have unlimited text, which is 4 of them in the school. I mean, if they don't have unlimited text, it will charge them the normal text
So do you
message
tell
rate.
them that when they sign up?
Yeah, like if you don't have unlimited text, it's going to charge you whatever your plan costs when I send you a text, just like any other text, right? But they don't have to sign up.
And you don't have to have a smartphone to have it, because everyone has text
Right.
anyway.
Right, right. And this, yeah, that's something that's not, doesn't have to be smartphone. Some of these do and some of these don't. Student polling, have we seen poll everywhere?
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that you can embed polls into PowerPoint? Pretty cool. Let me show you one. I mean, if you've seen it, awesome. But there's lots of ways to do just free text. They can put in like a phrase, or they can just vote on, I don't know, they can vote on a multiple choice answer. So we'll open one now. It's downloading. So my super boring presentation. I don't know what that means. Gets a little bit better when we add a poll to it. Okay, many of you have seen this before. What would you rather do? So all you have to do is send the text 37607, that's the phone number, and then you, in the body of the message, you put one of these. And then in real time, right in your PowerPoint slide, you'll see a bar graph based on how many people vote for that option. Okay?
So that code is the same for everybody?
Yeah.
Or that's
37607 is the phone number that you text to, and then you choose in the body of your text message either 516536 or any of the others, and that'll help you vote on those options. Right. So you can, if you want, send something in. Is anybody sending anything in right now?
Yes.
There we go.
There wasn't an option I liked.
Yikes. Yikes. Who's attended a district governing board meeting besides? Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. Bring your smartphone. You can play Fruit Ninja. That's what I do when you have to go. See, so that's perfect. I'd spend more time here, but I know a lot of you have done this. Another way is you can just send in straight phrases, okay? So text 516398. And what's your favorite local restaurant? And you can just put in the text. Macayo's, Taj Mahal, whatever, and it shows up. So there's lots of ways to do this. There's other services that do this. There's like Wifiti that they used at Yavapalooza not long ago, where it just shows what the students text up on the screen, right? Which is kind of cool. You can use it in a couple of different ways.
There's no filtering, right?
no.
Wifiti, there is a, it says like you can have a bad word filter, but I've never seen if it works or not.
Autocorrect has its problems too.
Yeah, it's a little tough, and I use it in Spanish, so autocorrect doesn't work anyway. So.
Does it work like an aggregator? I see 516398, it just gives you a number? You don't have to put in a number, it just gives you one.
That's if you're doing it via a computer,
Oh,
like a laptop computer.
okay.
Wait, so with this one again, it says text the 516398, so that goes into 2.
That's
And
in
your
the body
message.
of your message, and then the message number 2 is 37607.
Oh, okay, so that's all right.
In and out, I know that was Jenny. She's such a fast texter. She's going to be the only one that can participate in this. She's so fast. McDonald's, really? Who is that?
Todd.
The point is, it's anonymous. Raise my hand.
What do you get? The McGriddle with the infused syrup crystals? Come on. Yikes. Rose has pizza. I hear that's great. Did you send it in?
Doing it.
What do you want me to vote for, Steve?
So it adds, you know, we used to have to use iClickers. You have to beg somebody in the nursing department to lend you the iClickers. But now anybody that has a cell phone can use polling really easy. And it spices up your PowerPoints that, let's face it, are a little dry.
Very dry.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine.
That's
So,
why we use Prezi.
yeah, Prezi's awesome.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry, I got important-er things
Will
to
you
do.
come back to it later?
We can, yeah, we can pull it back up and see how you've done. Let's go to, so that's student polling. There's lots of services, like I say, and I think Todd sent this out with the email, but you can pull up this document. It's just a Google Doc. You can click on any of them and test them out. Twitter, I kind of use for some back channeling, and Today's Meet is my new favorite one that we've shared already. So send stuff to Today's Meet. Now, this is one of the most interesting things I'm using, Google Voice. I really enjoy it. What it is just a voicemail. And it allows you to create oral prompts. So I'll say, tell me about, we just did this last night, tell me about your worst date ever. What happened? We're talking about the past tenses. So they have to tell me what happened. Okay?
they have good in Spanish.
What's that? They have to do it in Spanish. Yeah. So all they do, check this out. This is what happens when somebody calls my voicemail. It shows up here. Let's see if we can play it for you.
Bueno, es Marco, hace 40 años. Yo fui arrestado, yo fui arrestado.
So Jared, he says, 40 years ago I was arrested, and he talks about the rest of his worst date experience. The guy has lived a colorful life. But it's very interesting. Google tries to transcribe it. Doesn't do so well with Spanish. Hello, this is Michael. Shape, sort of, who knows, hey, yeah, jokes way. I just thought the whole thing awfully others, Portland police. Yikes.
I had the idea, though.
Yeah. So here's the beauty of it. What I can do with this is I can download it, put it on my iPod, and grade their assignments as I'm jogging towards Glassford Hill. Okay, love that. You can embed it if they're doing like a digital portfolio. You can embed this if they really like this recording. So you can embed it on their blog or something. You can edit the transcript. All sorts of things you can do this, but this is what I use the most. I text them back. Freaks them out. I say, great job, Marco, after I've graded it. Right? Talk to us about his crazy girlfriend. Yeah, so I'm going to send that out, and Marco's going to get it on his cell phone probably right now. So, yeah, that's how it's done. But it's very, there's more options. I have this thing called Do Not Disturb enabled. And so students call my phone number, which is 480-382-4221, and it goes straight to my voicemail. And I can put whatever greeting I want, which is my oral discussion prompt. I'll say, tell me about your worst date ever. They hear me on there. Here's another thing that I've been using, which is really fun.
Now, Curtis, that number isn't your actual cell phone number.
No, no.
It's the one they give to you where you
Yeah.
can assign
Google
to
assigns
anything.
it, and it just goes straight to the cloud. Whatever they record goes to Google Sphere. You know, it has nothing to do with, doesn't ring my office or anything. Very interesting. But here's what it lets you do too. It lets you create a widget based on your greeting. So my greeting is, tell me about your worst date ever. And then I embed it on my website. Okay, so worst date ever. Students come to my website. They click on, I want you to do worst date ever. They click on it. They put in their name and then their phone number. Didn't work. And then their phone number. What's your phone number, Todd? Right? And then we connect, and it calls Todd. And it puts him in direct communication with that prompt, that specific prompt. So they can come in here and do all sorts of different prompts. Okay?
Answer and say something?
Yeah, answer if you want. Did you already get it? We didn't hear you.
Hello. Curtis. Oh, connecting the call.
Is it ringing? Yeah, it's going to pull up my voice, and my voice is going to ask you to tell me about your worst date ever. All right? It was with somebody at the college, wasn't it? You were telling me about it. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to call me. Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you about it.
Jenny, what's your phone number? Okay. So this is just their prompt page, and they can come in and do whichever one they want. Okay, or I'll, specify one. So we're gonna call Jenny, and then the topic is dual enrollment. This is my default greeting right now. So I want you all to call me 480-382-4221. And I want you to listen to the prompt and say something about, what do you think about dual enrollment? Jared and I have been talking about this a lot lately. Here it is. Did it call you? All right, so they're trying to transcribe you.
Hey Curtis, I was in high school for 6 years, so I don't really want to talk about this.
There you go. So it all shows up here in this one-stop shop where I can go through and assess it, and then I can send straight back to Todd.
You gotta play Jenny's.
Okay. And then I just send him the text. Where's Jenny's? Oh, there she is.
Scottsdale, how come I'm in Cottonwood
I
Station?
think you make some very good points. In your critique, dual enrollment will lead to the end of civilization as we know it.
I've often thought the same thing. Yeah, so there you go. That's Google Voice. Any questions on that? It's cool.
What is the feedback from your students on Google Voice?
They like it. They like it better than coming in to see me face to face. I think. Yeah. I think they like it. You ask, what if your students don't have a cell phone or something? I did this in my 2 classes yesterday. 1 student out of 50 had no cell phone. 1 student. Okay, everyone has it and they have it with them, pretty much. And if they don't, they could use the in-class phone. Lots of options.
Use somebody else's phone.
So, questions on that? It's very interesting. Could you use it in other disciplines, maybe, somehow?
Sure,
Okay.
if we wanted to communicate.
If we care.
What about the communications or something? Speech? I mean, it's a discussion. It's back and forth, but
Do
not.
you get a lot of questions that you've addressed on your syllabus, like when was that project due?
Yeah. Like through Google Voice?
Annoying? Yeah.
Through Google
Yeah.
Voice? No.
Do you get a majority of that?
No, they don't call it unless it's a class activity.
Okay, all right.
Typically.
They haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
In the complete version of Blackboard, they have, as you know, some of the WIMBA tools which have WIMBA discussion forms. So it's they're audio-based discussion forms then they're threaded. So it's instead of asking in text, who was the greatest leader in history, you say who was the greatest leader. And we don't have that version here of Blackboard. But what I think is cool about this is that it meets them on their phone more, and I'm not sure how those WIMBA tools would do that, and it also kind of supports the bring your own device sort of mentality, You're using tools you use every day in support of what
Well, that's
you're
why
trying
the
to
greatest
do,
marketing tool we own is our phone for reaching people at Yavapai College. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm
To
buying
have your
that.
website right there on the phone, getting Blackboard, getting your grades.
Unless you're like Jenny and I and you don't have a smartphone.
Yeah, but the students do.
Well, I put my phone number on my syllabus and say you can text me. And the big problem I have is they say, hey, Dr. Shelley, and then they'll put their message and I won't know who the heck it is because, and I say, you gotta put your name on it because,
They're not used to doing that.
yeah. But they use it, 'cause I have a lot of students who will text me rather than email me or call me.
Well, if it's not overwhelming, during that process, if it says, hi, this is Bill, you can add that to your contact, but just put in Bill Smith, and so the next time they do text you, you will know who it is.
Yeah. And I always tell them, just state your name first.
Right.
And when you do the one from my website with all the prompts, it shows them, when you put in your name, it shows, oh, this is Carlos, or this is Santana, and yeah. So Infuse Learning, go there on your smartphone, infuselearning.com, then click on, this is optimized for phones, and it's designed for the instructor to be in class and run quizzes and assessments on students' phones while the instructor is in front of them. And I'll share in a second the other things that you use it for. Infuse Learning is great. If you talked about, I'm having trouble focusing. Oh, that's down. All right. If you, if you've heard of Socrative, this is new and better than Socrative. It's very cool. InfuseLearning.com. Once you get there, you're going to go to student login. It's up in the top right-hand corner. Click on student login. And
Do
it's
you have
gonna,
to sign up for this?
no. You're just going to put in your name, put in Mark or whatever, and then the code is 24491. So this associates this code, 24491, with me. Okay? That is my classroom, my virtual classroom that you're about to get in. Okay? 24491. Do you see that where it asks for the code? Or does it not show that?
Let's connect.
Sometimes it's been crashing on me lately, so hopefully it's not.
Begin quiz.
Begin quiz, yes. So then you're going to have a little quiz that my students can do in class. So it shows up right on their phone. It beams it to their phone, and then I see the progress. Typically, I wouldn't show this on the big screen. I would just, go to image blank or something on the big screen. But so here we have Jared's doing the quiz. Got the first one wrong.
Totally right.
And then it keeps advancing along. Got some more participants. Very interesting situation. So you can throw one of these at them. Say, go to infuselearning.com on your phone. Or if you have a computer classroom, you can do it on the computer really easily. Right before they leave, it can be like a checkout card for the day. Before you leave, get it done. 5 questions based on what we talked about today. And then they can send you, I'll show you, once they're all done, I download their results. And they get either emailed to me or they show up right there on the lecturing computer, and I can save it if I have Dropbox on there, or I can email it to myself. You can just email it to yourself directly.
Are you completely paperless?
Pretty much, yeah. Try to be. So I'm just going to end it right now. So I can end the quiz at any time. But then it's going to ask me if I want to download the results.
It looks like you can record. Are there little audio things you can actually record?
Yeah. There's all sorts of features that you can add. I tried to give you kind of a diversity in the assessment item types. You can have a Likert scale, you can have multiple choice, fill in the blank. Lots of different options. So this is what shows up once students have done it. I can download it. It's going to send me an Excel file with all of their responses. It's going to download the Excel file. Let me show you, while it's downloading, let me show you what I do. I will put on the whiteboard, before I come into class, there's a quiz. And they know, they go to infuselearning.com before I'm even in the room. They start working on the quiz for the first 5 minutes of class. Then from my office, I download the results when the 5 minutes are up, and I take a look really quick. I skim it over to see how students done. Typically, it's what we did yesterday. And so I see, so here, it's a little tricky to show it, but this is the question, and here are my results. Your mother, true, A. And they tell me if they got that. Jared got 25% total, and on that item, no one got it right. Okay? And so I did this just for my slow assessment just recently. Did a little bit longer one, and now I have this saved, and I can just send it into the assessment committee on accent marks. That's what I did. But so then they'll do it the first 5 minutes of class. I'll come in at minute 7 around there, and I'll be like, wow, all of us missed this item. And I just saw it directly 2 minutes ago. Let's talk about why you did this wrong. Okay? And you start class a little late, but they're working on your content. Okay? You come in and print this out or whatever. Very interesting. I want you to show you one other feature that I've been using recently. And I'll probably have to get off the stage here.
They have to have smartphones to do that, though, right?
They do. They have to have smartphones and or computers in the
Laptops
classroom.
or tablets.
Yeah. You can tell them to bring in their tablet. Tablets work great. It's optimized for tablets. Yeah.
But wouldn't it work with the wireless here on campus?
Yeah, if they have laptops, they can bring them in.
You wouldn't need a smartphone.
Yeah, you wouldn't need a smartphone in that
So
case.
how many students don't have either computers, tablets, or smartphones
I don't know. I don't know.
in your class? I mean, when you get the quiz, does everybody?
Some people, my class luckily has computers that I'm in typically. So if they don't have it on their smartphone, a lot of times I'll just have them work on in groups anyway. Be like, talk over in your group. Why is this form of the conjugation, and why is it that form? And typically, 1 in the 3 people in their group will have a smartphone. If not, they can use the computers. In my case, not every case. You might send out an email the week before, hey, we're going to do something in Infuse Learning. Bring in your tablet or bring in whatever. Thanks for letting me come.
Thank you.